So let's begin discussing the Windows 8 environment and particularly Windows 8.1. Now, the first thing you're probably thinking if you received your laptop is, where is the start menu? Oh, it's not that hard to find. Here's the little icon right here. See the little windows? I put my finger on it. I'm going to mouse over it right here. It's blue. And then we open up to the start menu. Now the start menu is all about putting things at your fingertips. It's kind of an expanded view. The other from Windows 7 and previous versions of Windows was about a collapsed menu. This is an expanded menu. So if you're coming from a Windows 7 environment or even Vista and you're moving into Windows 8, this is a huge leap into the world of touch along with the applications and programs. So before I actually received this laptop, I actually took a little bit of time to learn a little bit about the Windows 8 environment because I didn't want to be surprised. Sometimes Microsoft makes really big changes. Changes are not always a bad thing. They're not negative. Lots of times they're actually things that should be embraced. And in this case, I think they're changes that should definitely be embraced. So if you can hang tight with me for a second, I'll walk you through some of the features and functions of Windows 8 that involves touch. You can use your mouse, keyboard. Also, any programs that were Windows 7 compatible should also be Windows 8 compatible. The biggest change, as I mentioned, has to do with the redesign of the start menu. There's also a charms menu. I'll show you that shortly. But we'll start with the start menu here. Now, again, the start menu is about what's important to you and programs and applications that you like to have at your fingertips. So we can just kind of scroll through here and see what's here. This came pre-installed. See Amazon, a couple of different things, one for the weather. Now, these are dynamic tiles, which means that they are live tiles and they are constantly what they would call feeding information for you, that information that you can basically have at your fingertips. Okay, you can decide which tiles you want. You can delete the tile, you can unpin it from the start menu, you can go to applications, which we'll do in just a minute, and you can pin an application that you would like to have on the start menu. For the ones that are here, unpinned from start that I mentioned, you can also pin it to the taskbar. You can resize it. You can make it small. You can make it wide. You can move them around. You can rename these as far as groups. Here's a group name. You can click and open it up, or you can use the touch screen and open it up as well. You can also choose to turn the tile off. Then it just becomes a static tile. And when you turn the live tile back on, then you should get that constant feed of information. It's kind of cool, actually. So let's go down to applications. Here are applications. These are applications and programs that are installed on your laptop. On this one, they came pre-installed. I can use my finger or my mouse to scroll all the way across. Now, I like Kindle, love Kindle actually. So I want to pin this to the start menu. When I do that, it goes all the way to the right. So I'm just gonna grab it and bring it all the way over here. Not a sports person, sorry folks. So I'm just going to unpin it from the start. It's just that simple. Also, going back to applications, again, I mentioned that these are the applications and programs that are installed on your laptop. There's a search function up here. You can basically put whatever in the search function that you're looking for. WordPad, for example, if you're looking for the control panel, that will pop up right away. You can search by name, by date installed, most used, and by category. So that's kind of a neat function. We'll go back here. Actually, to get back to the start menu, there is a Windows button on your laptop. I don't know if you can see it right here. I'll point to it. It's right there. That's just for ease. Takes you back to the last thing that you were looking at. I'm going to click here. This takes me to my desktop. Actually, if I want to personalize my desktop, I can do that. That hasn't really changed. So I can go personalize my desktop. I can choose a background. I hadn't actually done that yet. So choose this background perhaps. Also, let me go back to Windows. I'll show you that when you open up apps, if you want to close the app, there's the X up here. Back to the Windows. Let's look at the weather. This is kind of interesting. It's going to be collecting the information while we'll just give it a second to load. Oh, it says, we'll just put in Seattle. Let's see what the weather is like there. And scroll across, we get by the hour weather, we get a map, history, July. My other app that was open. That's my other app that was open. I'm just dragging from the side, give you an idea kind of how that works. Thought you might be interested as well before I move to the Charms menu. If you're ever looking for power options, right here. Sleep, shut down, and restart. Now, I'm back here at the desktop, and I would like to show you one of the features of a Windows 8 experience is the Charms bar or the Charms menu. The way I'm going to access this is from the right-hand side. I can mouse over with my mouse. I can also grab it from the right-hand side. See the clock and the battery information pops up. That's kind of cool with the date on it and the time. So on the Charms bar, we have search, share, an easy way to get back to the start button from wherever you are, devices, and settings. So we'll go through each one of these one by one. The search function basically searches your laptop for something that you're looking for. It could be a file, it could be a program, application, and you can search in these areas. If you're looking for the control panel, look, it's kind of like predictive text. It kind of already knows where I want to go, right? Okay. So that's right at your fingertips again. Share. This particular function can be used inside an application. Let's click on my Kindle, for example. We'll bring the Charms bar up. And here's the share. Now, for this particular page, I could use an email, I could use OneNote, I could probably post it on a social network if I belong to Facebook or have a Twitter account. That's what this particular function is for. If we go back again, the start button will always take you back to the start. In this case, the start button took me back to the last application where I was. It's kind of like a toggling function as well. So let's go back to devices. Now, I don't currently have any devices installed. I don't have a printer installed as of yet. So anything that's peripheral, a wireless device that you might plug into your laptop or use via wireless or Bluetooth, that's what this is for, the management of those particular items. And then lastly, we'll go down to settings. If you would like to personalize your start menu, that's kind of cool. So maybe we can leave that one there. Options for the screen, options for the tiles, going back up here. This is for wireless options. If you connect to several different, you take your laptop somewhere and you connect to several different places, this is kind of where you'd manage that. For sound, any kind of notifications, here's power, keyboard settings, because there is a touch keyboard as well that comes with the Toshiba laptop. I happen to use the one that's attached to the laptop, but everyone has their preference. And also changing the PC settings is also very important. We'll just go through a couple of these. Windows Update is very important always, your PC and devices. These are just different things that you can go through and kind of play around. The other thing that's new, that as far as I know with Windows 8, is the OneDrive storage. I think I saw it was called SkyDrive for one particular laptop. or maybe it was a different environment. I don't know if it was Windows 8 and this is 8.1, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But basically, the OneDrive storage is to protect your information, your documents, files, all of that good stuff. So you choose the settings that you sync the settings that you would like to protect. You can synchronize multiple accounts, and so basically if you were to lose your information, things could be reinstalled with no issue. So basically the information goes up to a cloud and you can bring it back down and install on your laptop if something were to happen. You know, you get the blue screen of death and you have to rebuild your laptop. I mean, hey, it happens, right? So, okay. I thought you might actually want to see that. And also, for those of us who really like to know where the control panel is, I always religiously use the control panel. It's something that I'm familiar with the settings. Here we are, folks. Programs, hardware, these things haven't changed. And one final note, I'm back at the start menu. See these little four here? I already showed you how to get back to the desktop. Just gonna mouse over here. My PC. We have the desktop, which we see right here. Any kind of downloads, documents, music, videos. So that's just kind of a shortcut to go back there. These are the PC settings. We were kind of sort of just there that we accessed from the Charms menu as well. Go back to the start menu. I'll just mouse over these. Documents is kind of like a shortcut. Again, you can customize the start menu to have whatever you would like. Everything at your fingertips is kind of the name of how this works. The other thing that I wanted to show you was from the desktop, you can also access all of the programs that you actually have open. And then if you wanted to, say, watch a movie while you were working at home, you could go insert left. You could actually resize this tile to make it a little bit smaller. Small as whatever gives you working space. And then you can open up kind of whatever you would like to have here. And here I've made it kind of like a split screen. You can make one smaller than the other, etc. Depends on kind of what your preferences are and how big you need the text to be, probably. So that pretty much concludes my little walkthrough of Windows 8.1. Overall, I really like Windows 8.1. It's a completely different experience from Windows 7, from Vista. I've been through just about all of the Windows changes all the way since Windows 95, and I think even before that. Yes, I was in technology for a long time, so it's a very different experience. Touch, we were kind of introduced to touch with the iPad. And so this is not really new. It might take a little bit of getting used to with the functionality of an iPad, but it's completely transferable. You know, whatever you can do with Windows 7, you could also do with Windows 8 and then some. Once you kind of get over the what happened to my start bar kind of thing, the start function, and you're not seeing that menu going up the left side of your menu, and then you realize that it really just opens up into the screen and it's completely customizable. You can group things. It's really kind of a neat function. Also having the Charms bar off to the right hand side, basically accessible from any application, from your desktop, from your start menu, just make things a lot easier as far as an accessibility standpoint. I hope you enjoyed this review of 8.1. And the next segment, I'll be discussing the Windows 10 upgrade and how easy that was to install. And then I'll be discussing the Windows 10 environment experience. Stay tuned.